Hey you guys! Today I am coming at you from beautiful Ibiza, Spain with an awesome workout that's going to work your entire body in less than 15 minutes. You are just going to need a yoga mat and a blanket, and a yoga block are nice but totally optional. Begin by sitting on your knees on the blanket. I just have a scarf under my knees, which was not enough, so make yourself comfortable and use a blanket if you have one. Your knees should be directly under your hip points, your front hip points. Hinge forward from your hips and then lift your pelvic floor and low abs. Now straighten up and pull in your lower ribs if they've popped forward. So you're nice and engaged through the core. Now to activate your pelvic floor and core even more, use a yoga block between your inner thighs. That's really going to create a nice total core activation, and I highly recommend it. Now bring your arms out to the sides, straight out in a T shape, and you're going to flip your palms up so you're opening the shoulder joint and really stretching your arms side to side. Mini shoulder circles are what we're going to start with. Now the key here while you do these tiny little shoulder circles is to keep your core strong and engaged. You want to make sure that you're not leaning forward at your hips or hunching your back. You want to be nice and upright. You want your lower ribs not to be popping forward, so pull them in if you feel like they're popping forward. In a second, I'm going to show you a side view just so you can see what I mean here. You want to, again, be really tall and lifted through the core. Don't be hunching in your back, and don't let your lower ribs pop forward. So think tall and lengthened through the crown of your head, breathing steadily, never holding your breath, and keeping those little tiny shoulder circles going. Try also not to lean backwards. That can happen too sometimes. Almost done. Keep it up. Really getting close now. Just a couple of more. Okay, finish up here. So now you're going to bring your arms into goalpost arms out to the side. Bring the sides of your pinky fingers and inner forearms together. So again, pinky sides and inner forearms together and then lift. Now goalpost arms and then pinky sides of the palms and arms together and then lift. Goalpost arms, pinky sides together and lift. Goalpost arms, pinky sides together, glue the sides together and lift, and then back down, goalpost arms. This is a really intense shoulder and chest exercise. It doesn't seem like much, but it's actually a lot of work. Just like the other little mini shoulder circles exercise, you're going to want to be sure that you are not leaning forward or leaning back. You're strong and lifted through the core, and that you keep breathing. So again, goalpost arms, and then glue the inner sides of your arms together and then lift and come down. Goalpost arms, glue the pinky sides of your hands and forearms together, and then come down. That up and down with the forearms is really challenging. So slow and controlled, following along. You're almost done. Here we go. Up and down, and you're done. Nice job. So sit back onto your heels, kind of like child's pose. And you're going to think of this either as seagull arms or ball lifts. Either way, your arms are spread out to the sides. And think about leading with your elbows and squeezing your shoulder blades together as you lift your tented fingers off the ground and your arms off the ground. I'm going to show you this from the front so you can get a different view in just a sec. But really squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back, like you're pinching a pencil between your shoulder blades. Here's a front view, and I want you to see how you can kind of think of it as a seagull flying, a bird flying. Think of leading with your elbows pointing up toward the sky. Now, if you want to think of it as a ball lift, you can think of holding a ball in each hand and lifting it straight up off the floor. No matter what you're thinking of to visualize this exercise, make sure your arms are out to the sides, not forward or back. You're trying to lead with your elbows, and you're breathing steadily. Don't ever hold your breath when you're exercising. I like to exhale with exertion, so exhale and exhale. You're almost done here. All right, shake it out. Shake out those shoulders. Shimmy it out. It's a lot of work. Shake out your arms. I love to kind of hug myself with my arms and swing my arms from side to side. Breathe steadily. Just stretch it out, shake it out, move it out, and come into a side seated position, kind of like a side saddle here. You're stacking one leg on top of the other, and you're going to bring one hand behind you and just twist. So sit up nice and tall as you inhale, and then twist as you exhale. So you're twisting away from that top leg. So if your top leg is your right leg, then you are twisting to the left. Keep breathing really steadily and remembering to inhale and lift through the spine, and then exhale, twist a little bit deeper if you can and if it feels comfortable. All right, finish up this nice juicy twist and then get ready to lie on your side for a triceps dip. This is intense. You are going to come straight onto your side and hold on to your shoulder with the bottom arm holds onto your shoulder. The other hand is directly in front of the bent elbow on the ground, as you can see here. So situate yourself like I'm showing, and with the hand that's on the ground, you're going to straighten the elbow. So straighten up that elbow. The hand that's on the ground is the pushing hand. So breathe with this. You want to exhale every time you straighten the elbow of the pushing hand. Keep going. We're doing 10 of these with your top leg on the ground. The top leg is just on the ground, sliding a little bit as you push up. Okay, now get ready though, because now we're going to switch it up and raise your leg, that top leg, raise it up, hip abduction. So lifting it and holding it steady as you keep going with this triceps straightening, arm straightening exercise. So use those triceps, back of the arm muscles to straighten at your elbow. You're almost done. Keep breathing, exhaling as you straighten that elbow on the pushing hand side. Keep the top leg raised and then release. Okay, staggering your legs in a nice comfortable stretch. We're going to do some Kegel exercises, pelvic floor contractions and relaxations. So focus in on your pelvic floor muscles and think about squeezing and lifting the pelvic floor muscles, the inside of the pelvis. Think of the muscles that surround the vagina and the urethra and the anus. Those muscles you're squeezing and lifting and holding, and then releasing. 2 to 3 reps where you just hold it for a few counts and then fully release. Nice and slow and controlled. Finish up. Make sure that you've fully released. And we're going to do that seated side twist on the other side. So remember, you're twisting away from the top leg. So now if your left leg is on top, then you are twisting to the right. Think about inhaling and lifting through your spine and the crown of your head, and then exhaling and twisting a little bit deeper, looking over your shoulder. Inhaling and straightening up through the crown of your head, lifting, and exhaling, twisting a little bit deeper, looking over your shoulder. Finish up one more deep breath in and out. And come on down to get ready to work your triceps on the other side. So remember, the pushing hand is in front of the bent elbow of the side that's holding onto your shoulder. So just set yourself up as shown in the picture. And then you are pushing with that hand that's on the ground, straightening your elbow and exhaling as you push. Your leg is still on the ground. You don't need to raise it up yet. Just remember to breathe steadily. Take it slower than I'm showing if you need to. This might take a while to get the hang of. Just straighten the elbow and exhale as you straighten it. Now, if you want to add that raised leg, so raise up your leg, hold it steady using your hip muscles, and continue to straighten the elbow of that pushing side arm. Straighten the elbow and exhale. Keep going, just a couple more. Keep going. 2 more. And last one here. Oh, good job. Okay, staggered leg kegels. This time you're going to try to do some quicker kegels. So adjust your legs as needed to get comfortable in this staggered hip position. And you're going to think about engaging your pelvic floor quickly. So quickly squeeze and lift your pelvic floor muscles and then fully release. Squeeze and lift, fully release. Squeeze and lift, fully release. Squeeze and lift, fully release. It takes a lot of control and coordination. Just do the best you can and make sure that you're always fully releasing after each pelvic floor muscle contraction. Just a couple more. Finish up. All right, nice job. Okay, come into a seated position here and just windshield wiper out your legs, bending and dropping one knee to the ground at a time, loosening up those hips, and get ready to come onto your back. Roll down very carefully, holding onto the back of your thighs. And then I want you to bring your hands under your bottom like I'm showing here. Really, in this position, hands under your bottom, pull in your low abs and your pelvic floor is lifted, so core is strong. And you're going to circle with both feet and legs glued together. Circle your legs in little tiny circles like you're drawing a circle on the wall and the corner of the wall in front of you. So way up high, a little tiny circle in the wall. You might want to do this with a block between your feet or between your calves. That can be a nice addition to this exercise, but if you don't have a yoga block, that's okay. Keep circling, making your circles little and tiny, or bigger if you're more advanced. Just be sure that as you circle, your abs are staying pulled in. You're not letting your low back arch. This is very important. So reverse direction, reset yourself if you need to. Be sure that your low belly isn't pooching upwards and that your low back is not arching. So your abs are nice and strongly pulled in. So really stable and still through the trunk. The only thing moving is the legs that are circling around in the other direction. Keep going with those little circles and breathe steadily. Almost done. Just a few more. Finish up here. Almost done. Breathing steadily. Okay, so hug those knees, but first press your knees out against your hands. Press out, and then hug your knees into your chest. Rock yourself up to a seated position. Oh, that hurt me on this rock. And now you're going to lift your heart, a nice chest stretch, hands behind your back, fingers pointing toward your toes. Lift your heart first and then up into tabletop position. So really lift your bum high off the ground, holding. This is a great exercise for the whole back of the legs and bottom. Now, you can repeat that again, or you can go into reverse plank. Inwardly spiral both legs. So inwardly rotate your legs and your toes are pointed, fingers pointed forward toward your toes. Lift your heart. And then on your exhale, you're going to lift your hips so that you can't see your toes. Your toes reach toward the ground. Lift your hips so you can't see your toes, and then lift your heart so you can't see your hips. So it's a really intense position here, but great for your arms, the backs of your arms, your triceps, your bum, your hamstrings, your back, everything. It's a wonderful, wonderful strengthening exercise for the whole backside of your body. Release down. Just gently rock out your back. Rock and roll, kind of a mini cat-cow in a seated position, cat-cow pose. Breathe steadily. And then come into a seated position. So cross your legs, and you want to end. I like to end. You don't have to, but I always like to end every practice with a nice inhale, really bringing in the positive energy that you've created in your practice into your heart. So hands at your heart or at your forehead, third eye center, and just relax. Be proud of yourself for sticking with this workout, and what a great way to start or end your day, or even as a midday movement break. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.